there's a mixture of the myths about the whole scenario. Nobody can really say whether the vaccine is, really because to me, I don't even know the essence of that vaccine in the first place, because it's actually not curing the main problem. So when they are not giving us a 100% guarantee of the vaccine, then why are they bringing it when they know that the vaccine is not going to be effective 100%?
My first question about this vaccine is that, is it going to protect people against coronavirus, or is going to cure the coronavirus? That is the way I don't understand the work of that vaccine. Now let's assume that they bring the vaccine into Nigeria and they say they want to vaccinate me against coronavirus. How many years this is going to work in my body before it expires from my body? Is it going to be repeat every year?
The way they produce it outside the country, I don't like the idea. So I don't think I can take the vaccine. Yeah, I can't take it.
In essence, to me, I don't trust this vaccine. Let them go to Ibadan. We have the roots. We have everything.
I believe it's a bold step in ending the virus. So I'm very happy with the vaccine being brought to Nigeria.
There is nothing wrong with it. If I have the opportunity of taking it, I will take it. But I don't think the government will bring in something that will harm the masses, because I know COVID-19 is real, and I've heard of people who have died of it. So, and also even at present, I know somebody, maybe though outside this country, who have taken the vaccine and she's okay, doing very well. So, and this vaccine also are brought from abroad. So if it's what will help us, we have no choice. Personally, I will take it. Because now, even I know of people who are traveling out now, and they've given this thing that without the vaccine, you cannot travel out. And many people want to go out, they are taking it. So I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
For now, let all the elders take it first, so that when we see that they are good with it, then we can take. They are leading by example.
As a person, the one that they brought in that whether India or any whatever, I'm not going to take it. I need the one that they produce in Nigeria. Even the one they produce in Nigeria is going to kill me. Let it kill me. We know that we are killing ourselves.
My own self, I will not take it because of what? I don't have it, and I don't believe in it totally in Nigeria.
The only thing that can make me take this vaccine, if I get opportunity to line with the number one president, vice president, their children, their wives, all the house members, they line. Then they line. Let us assume they line in this way, and they line non-government official this way. Then ordinary citizens line up with them. They started picking this vaccine from the same place they give the president, then the same way they give the senate president, the same. Then I will say yes, I will take it with them.
I want the government to make everything available, make it more easier. If they can have, like this place in Damakasa, if they can have center that Nigerians can come and take the vaccine, to be, I think that will go a long way. And also educate people the effect and the side effect of taking the vaccine. Like me now, if you not give me proper orientation on the vaccine, definitely I will not take. The only thing I will do is to stick to the guidelines, washing our hands, put on your nose mask, even though now I'm not with it. But anywhere I go to, I make sure I put on my nose mask, and I also wash my hands regularly.
I don't know where to get it. All I was told was that to apply through online. And for me, that one is not feasible to start applying through online. But if they have to give it, I don't know where to get it. Unless they bring it to our doorstep, just like they do the normal vaccine for children.
Okay. We have heard different people say what they want to say. We've seen, we've heard all of their comments. All kinds of information are out there in terms of what exactly does this vaccine do. In fact, people are skeptical. People have said, unless the government people take it in their presence, that is when they will take it. So today, I said, maybe we can begin to discuss this matter of vaccine. I don't know how we want to, put the information together in such a way where we say everybody will hear about the vaccine, know about the vaccine, go fit take correct action because of the right understanding. And the reason we make us ask this question today. But But before we do that, I also want to share with you guys another thing that is important for us.
COVID-19 vaccine from Johnson & Johnson. In early March, more than 6,000 doses were supposed to be shipped to the city of Detroit, Michigan. But the mayor said, no thanks.
Moderna and Pfizer are the best, and I am going to do everything I can to make sure the residents of the city of Detroit get the best.
He was referring to these numbers, the vaccine's efficacy rates. The vaccines from Pfizer, BioNTech, and Moderna have super high efficacy rates, 95 and 94%. But Johnson & Johnson, just 66. And if you only look at these numbers, it's natural to think that these vaccines are worse than these. But that assumption is wrong. These numbers are arguably not even the most important measure of how effective these vaccines are. To understand what is, you first have to understand what vaccines are even supposed to do. A vaccine's efficacy rate is calculated in large clinical trials, when the vaccine is tested on tens of thousands of people. Those people are broken into two groups. Half get the vaccine and half get a placebo. Then they're sent out to live their lives while scientists monitor whether or not they get COVID-19 over several months. In the trial for Pfizer-BioNTech, for example, there were 43,000 participants. In the end, 170 people were infected with COVID-19. And how those people fall into each of these groups determines a vaccine's efficacy. If the 170 were evenly split, that would mean you're just as likely to get sick with the vaccine as without it, so it would have a 0% efficacy. If all 170 were in the placebo group and 0 people who got the vaccine were sick, the vaccine would have an efficacy of 100%. With this particular trial, there were 162 in the placebo group and just 8 in the vaccine group. It means those who had the vaccine were 95% less likely to get COVID-19. The vaccine had a 95% efficacy. Now, this doesn't mean if 100 people are vaccinated, 5 of them will get sick. Instead, that 95% number applies to the individual. So each vaccinated person is 95% less likely than a person without a vaccine to get sick each time they're exposed to COVID-19. And every vaccine's efficacy rate is calculated in the same way. But each vaccine's trial might be done in very different circumstances.
So one of the biggest considerations here when we look at these numbers is the timing in which these clinical trials were performed.
This is the number of daily COVID-19 cases in the US since the pandemic began. The Moderna trial was done completely in the US, here in the summer. The Pfizer-BioNTech trial was primarily based in the US too, and at the same time. Johnson & Johnson, however, held their US trial at this time, when there were more opportunities for participants to be exposed to infections. And most of their trial took place in other countries, primarily South Africa and Brazil. And in these other countries, not only were case rates high, but the virus itself was different. The trials took place as variants of COVID-19 emerged and became dominant infections in these countries, variants that are more likely to get participants sick. In South Africa, most of the cases in the Johnson & Johnson trial were that of the variant, not the original strain that was in the US over the summer. And despite that, it still significantly reduced infections.
If you're trying to make one-to-one head-to-head comparisons between vaccines, they need to have been studied in the same trial with the same inclusion criteria in the same parts of the world at the same time.
If we were to take Pfizer and Moderna's vaccine and redo their clinical trial at the same time that we did J&J's clinical trial, we might see quite different efficacy numbers for those.
These efficacy numbers really just tell you what happened in each vaccine's trial, not exactly what will happen in the real world. But many experts argue this isn't even the best number to judge a vaccine by anyway, because preventing any infection at all is not always the point of a vaccine.
The goal of a vaccine program for COVID-19 is not necessarily to get to COVID-0, but it's to tame this virus, to defang it, to remove its ability to cause serious disease, hospitalization, and death.
It helps to look at the different outcomes of an exposure to COVID-19 like this. The best case scenario is you don't get sick at all. The worst case is death. In between, there's being hospitalized, severe to moderate symptoms, or having no symptoms at all. In the absolute best circumstances, vaccines give you protection all the way to here. But realistically, that isn't the main objective of COVID-19 vaccines. The real purpose is to give your body enough protection to cover these possibilities. So if you do get an infection, it feels more like a cold than something you'd be hospitalized for. And this is one thing that every one of these COVID-19 vaccines do well. In all these trials, while some people in the placebo groups were hospitalized or even died from COVID-19, not one fully vaccinated person in any of these trials was hospitalized or died from COVID-19.
One thing that I wish that Mayor would have understood was that all three vaccines have essentially 100% effectiveness in protecting from death.
The mayor of Detroit did backtrack and said he'd start taking Johnson & Johnson doses because it's still highly effective against what we care about most. Efficacy matters, but it doesn't matter the most. The question isn't which vaccine will protect you from any COVID infection, but which one will keep you alive or out of the hospital? Which one will help end the pandemic? And that's any of them.
The best vaccine right now for you is the one that you're offered.
With each shot that goes in someone's arm, we get closer to the end of this pandemic.
Okay, now don't hear the matter. So there are different vaccines, different efficacy, or what they call the way they take the walk past. But I expect some of my guests to join me as we go ahead with this our live streaming now. But I know say it could take some time for them to fit join. But there are some major lessons or some key messages where these two videos don't teach us. The first one, they say many people get different kinds of information. Different people get different understanding of what in the vaccine they do. In fact, because plenty vaccines they and different efficacy, where the one that we call efficacy they, people think say some vaccines they better than the others. But what we have also learned from the same video is that it is not about the number or whether the percentage of efficacy. We don't see say the way they assess the vaccines get different. So one of my guests don't join me now. I want to introduce them. Her name is Celestina Obiekia, and she be public health specialist. She be another Ogbonge specialist for this matter of vaccine. She gets first degree for microbiology and another degree for virology. Right now, she they work with the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, what they call NCDC, to help to manage how this vaccine they go. I mean, how this coronavirus they go. So we're going to rely on we're going to rely on her voice. Make she explains to us exactly what in these vaccines they do safe. So they're going to help me welcome my dear sister Celestina Obiekia as she go tell us, as we go discuss what in these vaccines they do safe. So Celestina, I know say you don't see the video where we show. So I want to start first. The first question where I want to ask immediately is say, for your own mind, it get vaccine way better past the other one. And in the way they look at it gets some vaccines where we say, because of say they get 95%, some get 67%. So this one better pass the other one because it be like say some people know they won't see, they don't want to take IC vaccine where know they work, or they say some one better pass the other. So what do you think about this one first?
So, first of all, when you talk about vaccines and any kind of therapeutics generally, the results where then they give from this vaccine trials, where then they talk about the efficacy. Now, one of the things we must happen in any clinical trials. So after you don't do all the concussion for lab, you don't see, okay, they give you the results where you expect. You get different stages of what they call clinical trials. This is not one of them. Where then we'll take the vaccine, come test them for a population of people within a particular setting. And the idea be say, you want give some people the vaccine, no give no go no say no be vaccine they give them. If you be saying a water dey inside the syringe that they give them, waiting with the generally call placebo or anything else, but no be the vaccine. Then you want come monitor those people over some time and see how they take react. So for this particular results, where would they see? So for this vaccine trials, waiting happen we say again, because of the speed where everything they take happen and where we did for this pandemic, where we say, everybody, all of the world now race with this. So one must win, either humanity win or the virus win. So this race where we did, so we will say, all efforts they in top gear to ensure say we end this pandemic with this vaccine content introduced. You get different manufacturer for different parts of the country, parts of the world where they do the vaccines. Now everybody won't push. These ordinary things where they take years, a lot of years to do, but because we also not get that time, a lot of the structure around these trials no fit exactly take place. So the reason why that yes, the efficacy is important, but I go advise say for now, maybe we take those figures at face value. And the reason be say the conditions under which most of those vaccine trials take place. If you want to start to compare one vaccine to the other, you must make sure say all of them are the same condition you subject them to. The same group of people, the same population of people within the same setting. Not be waiting we get here. So we get a trial where they heavily biased for you to do inter-vaccine comparisons. Now, the figures where you see, where would they see? Take them as face value for individual vaccines, vaccine groups or vaccine components. So Pfizer take them on their own, Moderna take them on their own, AstraZeneca take them on their own, but Johnson & Johnson take them. But I no go advise make we start to compare from one vaccine to another because of those reasons, because the things where they inside the vaccine is different. The technologies where they take make them different. Now, when you can't do them finish, the expectations, even though they're similar, the kind of response we expect may get from the body, and the end products or the end situation where we want to see they similar. Now the same bus stop all of us they go. But also remember, say, because of these different components, when you put them inside people, where we say body different too, you must get different kind of reaction. And we also get what we call genetics. How black man fit take react to something because of in particular genes where you get fit different from how white man go react. How person will get diabetes already go react to something where you do introduce to them go they different from when person where they healthy will not get any underlying sickness go. So all of these are things that we're supposed to take look and get some sort of critical population of people where we can say, or we feel safe for certain say it's very inclusive. We don't reduce the bias to the bare minimum. As today, so all of this comparison, bias full everywhere. So if you say, so my advice we say, it may not, if you know they're very accurate to say, oh, one Saturday talk say, oh, one vaccine day better or more efficacious than the other. No, based on the results we see. We'll take each of those results as face value. The cocoa be say those efficacies tell us say those vaccines they work. If not, from those trials, we they see them as zero. If they work. But the important thing we say they work. Which now waiting we won't see. The early results done they already show say people will collect the vaccine, they're very much less likely to get serious infection. We go even land them for hospital and nobody die. Even those who get COVID from among the people where they give the vaccine. So again, now the result we won't see be that. Maybe we not they derailed from all the other issues where they around the vaccine. As long as now waiting why we create this vaccine with this, now waiting we won't see. Would they see yes, we know they see no, maybe we'll take them like that. But for now, would they see the things where will be fine? Now the thing will matter be that.
Okay, in fact, time this one where you don't talk, so now go make me ask one question immediately. Say waiting exactly this vaccine supposed to do, sir, because we know they don't talk, say, you don't, the first video say, they say, they cure the corona, they prevent the corona. So what can be the essence of taking this vaccine, safe? So that question might be the main reason why we even get this program today. Say, make we even understand waiting this vaccine, they even do safe. So I beg, help us put mouth for that one.
Vaccines generally, no vaccine where they cure any kind of disease. Wetin vaccines they do generally be say, they help body to fight when the infection they come, to protect itself. They help body to protect itself. As body be so, body na im own components. All the bones they where they supposed they, now so God don't create them already. All the blood they flow through where it's supposed to flow, the nerves, all the joints, everything there as a day. The body as a day, like I said, now one complete system. It gets the things, and the body recognize itself fully like that as one system. Anytime where anything they come from outside, body they see them as not part of me. We call them non-self. Body go quickly recognize them. It don't be like country, like Nigeria now, we say sovereign country, we get our borders, land, air, everything. We know, say, we get our laws, our constitutions, we everything where they guide us, and the people where they inside the country. You can't get our military, we say that them get the major responsibility for protecting that sovereignty. We can't get another country where say you won't come fight Nigeria, war, won't enter through any of our borders, and our military can't intercept them for situation where maybe in a war or anything. That's how the body they act. So see those viruses in this case now as the body go see them as bandits or insurgents or terrorists where they come terrorize them, and it go mount response against them. Now, what they call immune response with that. So when the body don't mount immune response, what thing they happen? We say those soldiers where they inside the body system, what would they call the components of the immune system? They go wait for the virus for any part of the body where they come from, or the foreign body say, "Hey, you are not part of us. What do you want?" You know that kind of situation. You know they're part of us. Is there any reason why you are here? You don't have any business being here. Boss, now your boss stop with this. Now where you go stop with this? You know if you enter, either to destroy the virus or ensure say the virus no fit make more copies of himself, reproduce to the extent where say you can't fool the person body, we go make the person they sick. Now waiting the body they do be that. Now that now in the case of natural cause of infection, waiting vaccine they do be say we can't come out for natural, we can't enter artificial level, because we know say this thing will happen. You now as a person, you don't know when you go dey infected or which conditions go predispose you to infection, but you want control the situation such that you go prepare your body outside of natural infection scenario. So waiting with them now, waiting these vaccines they do be that scientists go enter lab, take parts of the virus or something will look like the virus where the body go also see as that virus come mount that immune response. But the caveat be say this thing where they introduce now as vaccine, they don't know so it no go cause the same type of infection or make person sick like the same way the natural infection go do, but the body go still recognize them the same way and mount the same response. The other part where they important for the whole vaccination thing be say body gets ability to remember. Without that remembrance, everything we they do for vaccination na waste of time. So the fact say you don't give your body this thing once, it mount response to the body go remember for life or for some time, such that anytime where that thing they come again, body go remember say, those soldiers where you put for barracks, that time where you put for gates, make them hold them. Body go just recall them, say, hey, we now go fight this thing before you don't come again, when I go fight them again. Now so they work, now so vaccine they work. But now because they know be the first time where you encounter them, the body go day faster to fight them. Now the basics of vaccination with that. So we know they wait until when maybe you go enter street, you can't catch them naturally, you can't fall sick, where you know if you determine how the thing go take affect you. We use vaccine, train your body to sabi how to defend itself against this particular virus. Now waiting the vaccination they do with that. And not be say they kill the virus, so that when the virus go come, it go make sure say the virus not go fit enter your body as it's supposed to enter, replicate and make you sick to the point where we say you fit enter hospital. Because usually waiting they happen, we say No be say the things where they make us sick most of the time now, the extent to which the virus fit enter your body. This virus, we say, they not fit live outside of human host. They not fit, you know, if you put them on top table, you go die. You know, if you land on, you need your cells to reproduce. So in they try to make more of himself so that himself will get in your own generations. The more way they make copies of himself, they grow, they make more generations. Now you they sick more. So within the vaccine they do, because the body don't already recognize and body no go let them fit enter or make more of himself as he supposed to make, so that you go become they fall sick as you go fall sick if the normal natural infection. Now the essence of vaccination. So the essence of this COVID vaccine not be to kill, not be to prevent transmission, but to ensure say anybody will collect the vaccine at any point in time where you go dey exposed naturally to COVID, your body go fit mount immune response because you go still remember from the vaccination to the point where we say you no go sick to require hospitalization or even reach death. So now the cocoa for the vaccine with that.
In fact, you don't knock the matter for the you don't really, give us the real issue, because many people don't they ask this question, say if the vaccine no go cure corona and it no go prevent you from getting corona, so what it can be the essence of the vaccine? So your explanation be say the vaccine go first of all they teach the body say in case corona come now so make you take respond, right? That's number one. Then the other one be say
Exactly.
if you take the vaccine, then the sickness even come. The way the vaccine where they don't test now, they say it no go allow you sick to the point of say that they carry you go take oxygen or even lead to death at the end of the day. Because now the main thing where everybody fear with that. So if you don't take the vaccine, when your body go don't see say the body, your own body's soldier waiting for your body go don't stand up to attack anything where they come inside, the body. Now the thing where the vaccine is supposed to be that. Thank you so much, because now this kind of explanation people supposed to get to understand what vaccine is supposed to do. But I still get question. The question be say, okay, some people don't take this vaccine. They begin the dance at Jasco. So they get different kind of reaction. To the point where we say some people decide, say, okay, you know what? Me, I'm not gonna take this one at all. If the vaccine is make we take, can they make us they get this kind of sickness? Where we say would they react like this? Why I can't take this vaccine in the first place? As they think that one to answer that one, come add another one, Jonah. For Africa, people where they don't die from corona, they don't plenty reach like the rest part of the world. So what they come with the need, make the people, Africans come begin to take this vaccine. So now those ones I want you to also help me to explain. Thank you.
Okay. So the first one now, say people collect the vaccine, they dance at Jasco. All those things over this for social media, most of them, 99% of them will be true. But no be say we go talk, say when you take vaccine, they affect. All of these things now waiting what they call adverse effects from immunization and a normal thing. So, like I don't talk before, vaccine, waiting what they do with vaccine, we say, would they try mimic waiting the body go do to real infection? And say when real infection come, know how it must affect you. Even most times people where they talk to they don't get any symptom. Not just because most of the time people they do you get headache, they count them as anything. You sneeze small, they count them as anything. You get slight fever, we don't get used to them. So they any small thing malaria. Even if now fever of less than 6 hours, most of the time they even they pick themselves. So even in some instances, all this people they say, they're symptomatic. Say you get symptoms to anything, now sign say your body they fight something. So when anything when the part of your body come, the way where the body, it just be like battleground. When soldiers and the terrorists will come attack your country, they fight. Then they fight on top ground. As that ground go be, all the trampling and all the marching, the ground not be the same. You must see some indentation, like injury for the ground, which will say something not happen for here. Now so the body be too. So the body and the battleground, two warriors they fight, the virus and your soldiers of your body, what they call the immune system. The battleground where then they fight on top. Now your body must feel up. So all those things where you go see where they come out as either temperature, runny nose, fatigue, you get rash, all of those things are what they call signs and symptoms. Now signs say your body they fight something. Okay. So again, we know if you take that one come out for vaccination. But like I talked before, vaccination with the use and mimic waiting will happen for natural infection, but in a reduced state. Because most of the time we don't enter lab, take that thing wey go make you sick, comot the thing wey dey make am dangerous mostly, but we no dey comot the things wey go make the body recognize am. So the extent to which it go affect you, make you sick, go dey reduce. Mostly, some people no go even feel anything at all. But because say body dey different from each other, the way something go affect one person different from one person, people are stronger, people get power, people get stronger immunity past each other. So a few people go still feel the effects of that vaccination like in a natural infection. Now wetin we dey call adverse effects from immunization be that. And no vaccination program wey dem go introduce wey be say this one no be major component. Okay, it just be like, and that's why we dey always take am serious to monitor those kind of things. But you know, if you still compare these adverse effects from the actual scenario of when the vaccination no go dey and a natural infection, they make people dey immunized from this infection. So not be something where we feel complete comot, but a lot of those things that we dey see for television, social media, na exaggerated things. Because again, remember, people also dey scared one kind. This virus wey we dey deal with, now something we say we never deal with before, is new. A lot of the things that we dey do, just be like say we dey build ship, come they climb, they sail, put the ship on top water, they sail am at the same time. Plenty of the things that we dey do now learning on the job. Now when we don't do finish, we'll come say, okay, this one no work. It be like say it work like this. So also remember, I say some of the things that we do or what we know as fact from the beginning of the pandemic, some of them don't change now. Now so it dey be. So you get plenty of things that we don't know already, where we don't know yet. So we say some set now decades down the line, we go still find out about them. So people they scared of these things. So propaganda must always be, and that's why it is important for us to always educate people appropriately on what they happen with these issues. So those adverse effects must be, but in a very minute scale. But for people where we say, but the essence we say we no want make those adverse effects they threatening to the point where we say you will call they threaten people's life or people will die. We can't cancel out the effect of reason why we do this vaccine in the first place. That's why we monitor those adverse effects in the first place. Then the other question where you ask on effect of COVID on Africans and whether it is necessary for us to take this vaccine at all. Make I first even ask one question. We don't take vaccine. Which other choice we get to protect ourselves? We don't try all other methods since last year. We enter first wave to second wave, third wave, and we will most likely they continue. And history don't already show us from all other disease eradication or control programs say vaccines they're very effective. We don't manage now create one vaccine or a number of vaccines against this COVID. We don't get drug, we go cure them. Which other option we get to control? So the question now we say, yes, understandably, for Africa, we feel they look this and say, kill us like that, Jerry, not to affect us. We still get people, I get friends, I get people in Nigeria who say they still don't believe say COVID they real. Even though they know say people wait they close to them. Even me, I don't get the COVID sick from myself. They know that still they tell me say this COVID, no day. Maybe another thing make you sick. But so the fact that the thing not to affect us like that, now they bring all those kind of things. But if some of us they like America or European countries where the thing really hits them, where people die. Well, if you get families, maybe say a family of 6, maybe 5 die from COVID, maybe say they test, then no. Maybe our story for they different. But understandably, and if you get a lot of reasons, and I mean myself, a lot of speculations. I don't even answer reasons why we say Africans not today affected like that. Genetics may play a large role. Our pre-exposure to other diseases in the past, we don't already make our immune system strong past as we suppose, as we expect or as we even know. Fear also play a role, but we know if it talk say definitely not the reason be this, but yes, not the fact with that. But the question we say, would they deal with virus? We say would they call them RNA viruses? Then they mutate. We say they change. The virus where today inside one person body, that person infect another person. That person maybe husband and wife they house. Husband first get the COVID. He can't give him wife. The virus where they inside the husband will give wife. If it they different from the one where they inside the wife. Now waiting they happen during mutation. They say for every cycle of transmission, one part of the virus they change, and they change in such a way to make the virus stronger. Because remember, I said this virus they don't live outside of human hosts. So as we would they try to kill them, then also they try to survive. So it gets something where they talk for virology. We say now virus we don't get sense now they kill the hosts, because the longer way you keep the host alive, the more way you feel propagate, we replicate, the person feel infect another person. That's why viruses like Ebola, not the two, they're not the two quick infect to plenty people like that, except maybe you get opportunity where people they the same place at the same time. If you put time lag, viruses like Ebola where they kill people quickly, they too quick go far. Death rate fit high at a particular time, but once you introduce some time lag for transmission to occur, it go begin come down. Eventually, the virus will just die naturally. So the more way a virus stays inside person body, keep the person alive, use the person system, make more of himself before you begin to infect more people, the better for the virus.
I see.
So the mutation, every cycle where the virus they jump from one person to another, it change itself in such a way we say to avoid your body response, to avoid being killed or being minimized, or where the body go fit protect himself, so that he go continue to dey alive to dey multiply. Now within the virus they do with that. So the fact that we say we know now, say this particular virus as a day now within most parts, and the issue for South Africa don't already show us say if it change anytime, even within the continent. Say the way we know them now, we feel wake up tomorrow, it don't change. If we say waiting we go to see now a different matter entirely. See waiting not happen between the first and the second wave. So we get people will die from the second wave of infection, plenty pass when we get them for the first wave. And just to show you, say those mutations they occur, and we don't already even see say some of the variants where they for South Africa, they UK, they already even they Nigeria. The more way the virus they mix, they transmit, the more way they change itself. So we say we feel reach one point. So we say we don't even understand what we deal with again. The dynamics fit change anytime. So the question we say we fit subject ourselves to the cost of this not knowing, because this is not something where we know. So waiting with the price to pay between take the virus and say you dey protected, the risk say you go fall sick dey lesser. The lesser time you have to be sick, the lesser you are able to transmit to somebody else. And say take the virus, everything just dey normal, but if you predict how the virus will change itself and how the dynamics will change. So we not feel safe for certain, anything can happen, but the cost of uncertainty, if it high pass waiting, we fit pay in the future.
Thank you. In fact, I think you don't make the matter very clear, so that those of us will be like, say, we go think, say, the thing not supposed to affect us for Africa. So we're not supposed to, the thing not supposed to the warriors now. They're not supposed to bother to bring vaccine here because of say we don't get too many people that they die. Of course, we said no life where no they important. Even if now one person dies, a good way we protect ourselves against any of those things. So I want to thank you those so much for that, for this explanation. So not too many things they where we need to talk about again, but I just want to beg people, say when you get the opportunity, please go and take the vaccine, so that the more of us will get this way don't take the vaccine, the less chance say the virus go begin to transform to the day stronger and to make us the inside this pandemic. Me, one of the biggest thing where I want to talk say, if this pandemic no go on time, one of the biggest problem we did for Africa be say the number of jobs we don't lost, number of people we go still remain inside poverty, not be small thing. Because unless the whole world open again and we all go back to normal, this condition of hardship go still continue for a long time. And that's the reason why my own prayer be say make this pandemic end as soon as possible. And if now this vaccine go help us reach the end of this pandemic on time, that's the reason why I advise everybody to take them. Again, my people, make una help me thank my dear sister Celestina for coming to explain to us. It's not easy to speak this kind of broken English, but I shall say one or two things where we don't collect from this small time where we don't sit down and talk together. So they're very important for us. But until the next time where we go knock this matter to the ground again, I want to thank all of you now for staying with us and say thank you again, Celestina, for coming on this show, even at such short notice. And now, bye-bye. I want to talk with that now. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah.